So, with no further ado, he is an ex-military pilot himself. He has worked at NASA.
Absolutely not.
His name is Ronnie, and he is going to tell us about Mars.
Yeah, I'm none of that. I work at a gas station.
God,
But
okay. All right, two guys, one mic.
I mostly just do a little research through like SpaceX and NASA and kind of reading a little bit more news articles and everything. And the most recent ones I have found have been about the new seismic activity that's come across on Mars due to whether it's been like what they call Mars quakes, which is just stress fractures due to heat on the planet, or also meteoric impacts on the planet. This has actually given us so much more opportunity to look deeper into Mars and actually see its core and figure out the makeup of it, which, unlike Earth's core, which is an iron nickel alloy that's both solid and liquid, Mars has a completely liquid iron core, which does make things a little bit more difficult for us as we do try to not terraform, that's not the right word, but bring humanity there to survive. Now, going through all of that kind of stuff like that, Mars doesn't have the tectonic plates, so we don't get that information often.
What's tectonic plates exactly?
Tectonic plates are what causes the earthquakes on Earth. So when
Shifting, when the plates shift.
Correct.
That's what. Okay.
Correct, yeah. So when they shift. But since Mars doesn't have that, we really have to rely on either rock formations breaking to cause any kind of actual seismic activity. But due to this very last meteoric impact, we were able to determine its core, how deep Mars actually is, and how much better sustainable it would be for us to live on said planet. Now, it does seem like it's not very likely that we can, just due to, the stress fractures alone. We would be dealing with those constantly, and the meteoric impacts would be so much more on Mars than it would be on Earth. However, I do have a quote here from I'm going to butcher this name, Nicholas Schmerend.
Schmerend.
Yeah, he is a researcher on a team called InSight, and he studies all of these. And what he says is that you can think of it as a way the properties of a planet's core can serve as a summary about how the planet formed and how it evolved over time. So the end result of that formation and evolution process is what can either generate or prove the absence of life-sustaining conditions.
How does that work? Where they say that it is either literally one extreme or the other. Is that what I'm getting from that? Where they say that it can either be proof of that life can be sustained here, or the complete opposite.
It is. It's a very big toss-up, honestly. And there have been other researchers through like China who do say that there are certain parts of Mars that are sustainable while others are not. So they
right now, you mean? Because I've heard, the atmosphere is a lot different back, but right
they don't
now
have
there's.
an atmosphere.
Well, sorry, but that it was sustained life maybe possibly so long ago. But you're talking about right now. China is saying that certain parts.
This is another newer
Wow.
article. I don't have the names on them, but they
I'd like
were
to hear
saying
you try to pronounce the Chinese doctor's names. If
same.
that's fair. Okay.
Yeah. But they were more talking about how Mars once had an Earth-like climate and ocean flowing across, and now that since it has frozen or gone pretty much under Mars's crust, it makes it so much harder, but you can still see the rivets in the planet where the either rivers or oceans used to
Water
be.
flowed at one point, yeah.
Correct, yeah. So, like, those certain spots where the water was are the ones that could be sustainable. But the ones where it's all just barren land, nothing, there was no water around there, those ones seem to be too unsustainable for us. So even if we were to make it
like
to
my
Mars,
ex-girlfriend.
so even if we were able to get on Mars and try to make a sustainable living, it wouldn't be a lot of us. It really would only be very select few and
Yeah.
people that could actually build agriculture, because that is the biggest part of getting onto Mars.
Sustainability in general.
But otherwise, I mean, the core is really cool. I like the fact that it is completely different than Earth's. Mars is a lot smaller than us. Not a lot, but, you know, enough to where, like, we could fit a few of us on there. I think it would be fun. I think we could have some fun on that.
That's what Elon's trying to do with SpaceX, yes?
It is, yes. A lot of his missions have failed, but that also is due to the fact that we have so much space junk right now orbiting Earth, since we've put out so many satellites.
Right.
That it's so much harder to get the algorithms and math to send rockets back out up there. You know, people try to think that, like, oh, you can't leave Earth. The Earth is flat. All this kind of stuff. That's why the rockets don't go. But it really is a mathematical...
I will say this. We don't appeal to flat earthers here. We're down for all the alien talk that you got. Yes. But we're not appealing
There's no Crystallis.
We're not doing that sort of podcast.
Yeah, not at all, dude. But it is fascinating to think about, honestly.
Did his rockets blow up because of space junk leaving the atmosphere? Or
No.
did they blew up because he's trying to... I don't know. I mean...
It's also,
honest to God, if you know about this, I would love to hear it. But I knew his rockets blew up, and I know that in general, it's because he can easily make the rockets that NASA does that have proven to work. But his are trying to go farther, yes? And so they're more complicated, right?
So much more complicated. But a lot of failed, like, rocket ship stuff has to do with very small engineering problems or fueling problems. Anything like that, you know. So, like, if you're going up into space or trying to get up into there, and, you know, just one little bolt fucks up on your ship, the whole thing will just tear apart.
Yeah.
You know, so
and it's like how NASA, like, a lot of their shit had exploded as well, but they got a working method, and then they just follow it. And every time they get something that they said they're not enhancing at all the way that the rockets perform. They're just sticking to the one method that they finally found that works.
Yes, correct, yeah. And
so he's trying a new method, and so that's why there's trial and error to it.
That's exactly what I was going to say. It's going to be trial and error.
Yeah.
But what's really cool about the seismic activity is that we have finally actually gotten, like, one of the most... what's the word I'm looking for? One of the best picture that we have ever seen on Mars.
Oh, yeah, clearest image.
Clearest, yes.
And now, is it from NASA?
No, maybe. I don't know.
Look that up real quick.
Because
if it's from NASA, I bet you they colored the image.
That's very fair.
Yeah. They love to do that. You guys know, like, I mean, this is like NASA, if you didn't know, you know, they've done some phenomenal things. Let's be clear about that. But they have a strange...
what's funny?
They have a strange way
Insight is NASA. It's a company within NASA.
Yeah. So that image is
but
so I bet
I
you
will
that,
give them credit to this.
Yeah.
It does not look like it was a doctored image because it does still have the bluish
gray sky. And so listen, that's what I was gonna get at though. So and we'll put the image up so you guys can see this right now. But that fucking image that looks like, wow, look, it's not like a red. Look at how clear it is. I mean, maybe that's what the images always look like, you guys. They color the fucking red in there and call it the red planet. I don't know why they do that. They color in the red, and when you can go to Photoshop and click a button that takes all the distortion put into it out, and it looks like Earth. It looks like this image. But this is this is a clear step. This is their attempt to stop coloring the image. Yes, Ronnie?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, honestly, they kind of got found out about it, and it was like, oh, jeez.
I mean, that was just crazy. That's crazy.